Hey YouTube, it's RooTube here. Today I'm making homemade dog food. This is how everything looks straight at the bat. I'm not going to use all of this, okay? But I'm using some sweet potatoes, some turmeric, some spinach, some green beans, some blueberries, some Quaker oats, some canned pumpkin, and a whole lot of meat, beef. It's only like $2.50 a pound, so I got a big old thing of it. All right, she does better with either a paste or very small food. So I am going, because if not, she'll not hardly chew it and swallow it. So I'm going to make this stuff small too. And you can do it any way you want. The one thing I am going to do is I am using all this beef, because it's going to be quite a few meals. Plus some it will be like dog food with this mixed in. And another thing is, when this is done, cool down. Some's gonna go in the freezer, some's gonna go in the fridge. And when I get ready to feed her, depending on if I heat the food up or not, because I want to do it when it's at least cool and not warm, I'm gonna put some live probiotic Greek yogurt in there, and I don't want the heat to kill the probiotics. And I'm gonna put some coconut oil in it. So, and then I have some multivitamins that she's to take too. So hopefully she'll get everything she needs. So I'm gonna get started, getting all this chopped up, and I'll be back in a couple minutes. Okay, first things first, I'm gonna put this up to about 300, and I'm going to put filtered water on it. Now this, not 100% sure how much I'm going to need. I don't want it soupy, but because when I cook stuff down, I want to make sure there's plenty of liquid in it. Even though I am going to use a lid. But I want this to get to temperature, and then I'm going to turn it down. Right. Then I'm going to take some Quaker oats. And I'm going to put some in my blend, or my food processor. About a cup. I think that's one. That might be more than a cup. I don't know. Now, I'm not gonna turn these into oblivion, but I think that's right. I swear I don't use that thing much, and every time I forget how to frickin'. There we go. Okay, see? I've broken down a little bit more. Now, once this, gets a nice simmer, you can even consider boiling. I'm gonna turn it down to about 200, and then I'll show you from there. Okay, I'm getting some steam off this. So I'm going to put my sweet potatoes in there. I'm honestly shooting for everything pre-cooked. That'll have about 50% meat, and all this other stuff will make up about 50% pre-weight. Put this in there. And these, I cut them small, but not really small, because I can just mash them afterwards to get them small. Like, she's been having problems with her teeth and chewing, so because she's getting older. So that's what part of this is for. And she's getting a little porky, so well, we seem to have better luck with, they seem to be more satisfied with, well, of course, everybody would be, because most dog food, let's face it, is made from garbage. So I'm going to take this, turn it down to about 200, and then I'm going to put my oatmeal in there. Now this might not work for everybody, for every dog, but this is about what we do for, especially her. So now I want to make sure the potatoes are fully cooked. I want to make sure this oatmeal doesn't need any more liquid. It's completely hydrated. Okay? got that down to 200. Now I'm going to take my lid. I mean, if you want to do it faster, you can, but I'm going to cut up the meat and stuff while this stuff cooks. That's why I have it on lower. So I'm going to cut the meat up, and then I'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, I'm back. This did dry. It didn't burn, but it did start to, I just cut it as it started to dry out, because it took a lot longer to cut all that meat than I thought. See, the potatoes are cooking down nicely. Oatmeal is sucking up all that water. And now, what I'm gonna do is take all that beef I cut up. It's going in there too. I don't want to splash everywhere, so I'm trying to be a little careful. Because I tend to splash and get stuff everywhere when I cook a lot. Oops. Now put this in. I still have it on 200. I think 200. Yeah. So it can cook nice and slow. I don't want it to cook fast because I guess when you cook food for a long time and at a high temp, it kills more and more. The longer you cook it, the more and more nutrients it kills. So I kind of want this to, you know, have a little bit of something in it for her. Okay. So, and I'm gonna put the lid back on it. Put that right there. And now, so this is ready. When I come back, I'm gonna take my spinach. That's the thing I want to open. Maybe I'm just too weak to open it. I don't know. Doesn't matter either way. Oops. I'm gonna put it right in here. Now she'll like that if she sees it. Oh, she's not paying attention. And I just want to break this up some. That's dog food anyway, so I don't think she's gonna care. Alright, now we're gonna lock that in. Lock that in. We're gonna pull. It's not gonna fall, so I'm just gonna turn it on. Got that kind of a nice paste. Now I'm gonna check it real quick. Oh, there's still a little bit right there. So I'll just squish that down a little bit. Just a little bit more. Alright, there we go. The green beans I got French style, so they're already cut up pretty good. The blueberries, I am going to pulse up a little bit, but I'm going to put them in at the end. So those are in there for, you know, antioxidants and vitamin and all that. So I don't want to put those in until it's cooled down, so I can hopefully save as many vitamins and minerals from it as I can. And like I'm just gonna let this cook through. Make sure, like I said, potatoes seem like they were. The oatmeal seemed like it was too. And after that's done, that's when I'll start putting in my other stuff. So we'll be back in a little bit. I'm gonna try this time not to let that dry out, or get close to it. Okay, back. Everything's cooked, and I took the lid off it because you see it's still pretty watery. So what I'm gonna, I'll still, this is only on 200. So I'm gonna keep the lid off it. And put in a couple of the last ingredients. Here's, carefully put the spinach in there, because I don't want that hot ass water to hit me. I didn't think it would come out like that, because it's a paste. So let's take this out carefully. There we go. All right, put this back in there. Blade back in there. And now, I'm gonna check my blueberries first because I want to make sure. I've had bad luck with certain berries the last couple times. It's like they were fresh and there were still some bad ones in them. So I want to make sure. Oh, see, there's one. There's a bad one right there. Stuck to the bottom. Before I put them in, I'm gonna give them a look. Oh, nope. Okay, definitely not. I'm just going to use a little handful of those. There we go. That is a nice little kind of like liquidy paste now. Like I said, this, and not to mention the fact, I mean, this will some of this will boil off, but also it'll thicken as it goes along. She doesn't. She won't care one way or the other. And if she eats this too fast, then I'll pulsate it and turn it into a paste. If she eats this good, because like I said, there are some chunks in there, then I'll just let her go with that. But if she eats really fast, and I don't like, I don't want her to get sick and upset her stomach, so. I'm going to open my French cut green beans. And I'm only going to put about half bag in here. So, like I said, I want most of it to be protein, or at least 50% of it to be protein. There we go. The rest of those are going to be separate. That's going to go in recycling. She loves green beans. So. I know they say really fibrous vegetables, when you feed them to your dog, should be cooked. Some more than others. Because, especially as you get older. People are the same way. Like, I love broccoli, but I used to love raw broccoli, but I can't eat raw broccoli anymore. It upsets my stomach, like bad. And that started when I was younger. So, alright. Now I got my blueberries ready. My pumpkin is right here. I'm only going to use 1 can. I'm going to let this, like I said, thicken up a little bit. I'll let it cook down a little bit. And then when it starts cooling down, I'm going to get my other stuff in there. So I'll be back in just a couple minutes. Okay, this is where I want it. So I am going to shut it off and unplug it. And I am going to put, I got spinach everywhere. Turmeric in it. I don't use too much. But sure you stir that in nicely. Now this will continue to thicken up, no different than human food. It'll get, as it cools down, it'll thicken. She's been in here quite a few times, so I'd like to hurry up and get this done so she can have a nice dish of it for supper. I mean, it does smell good. It looks horrible, but it smells good. And it's all human grade food. Yep. Here she is again. I just heard her. Like I said, if she eats this too fast, you know, starts choking up herself, I will put it in a food processor or a blender and straight up turn it into a paste. I'm just going to let that do its thing. I am going to put 1 can of pumpkin in there. Like I said, when I serve this up to her, I'm going to let it cool down a little bit longer before I put the blueberries in there. But when I serve this to her, I'm going to put some live cultured yogurt in it and some coconut oil. So hopefully she'll, it won't be with every meal that she'll get all that stuff, but I'm just saying that at least once a day I like to give her that, make her feel better. It seems to do good with her stomach. So, especially as she gets older, she needs all those extras, you know. So I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit. See, it's starting to thicken. Well, I mean, plus the pumpkin too. But you hungry, baby? You hungry? Like I said, it looks gross, but that's human grade food right there. Now, it might not be, I'm not gonna say that what the dog food say, where it's 100%, you know, full nutrition for the dog. But that's what multivitamins are for. So make sure she got a lot. Hopefully she got a lot. There's a lot of protein in there. There's a decent amount of fiber in there. I'm gonna add fat to it and probiotics. Plus there's some antioxidants and everything. You know. So, I mean, it's plus, you know, with all the extra, and you know, it's got the oatmeal. You know, all the vegetables and the fruit even. A good energy source for her. And then the extra fat will be when I mix it up, her food. So that's the way I believe. These dogs are done better off human food that we specifically make for them, not like giving them table scraps or sharing our burger with them. I mean, food we specifically made for them with like no garbage, no seasoning, you know, stuff like that. Chicken, rice, pumpkin, that worked real. A vet had us put Nomi on that for quite a while, and it worked. And I think yogurt too. It was included in that. But I mean, all dogs are different, just like people. Everybody's different, and everybody's views are different. So I mean, do what you want to do. Just make sure your dog is cat, fish, whatever. Doesn't really matter. It's healthy. Whatever pet you have, keep them healthy. Alright, it's still warm, but it has cooled down quite a bit. So I am going to put, a blueberry in there. Now, compared to everything else, I didn't put a lot of blueberry in it, but I didn't want a whole lot of sugar. Even though it is natural sugar, it's still sugar. I want her to have, you know, the benefits from it, and you know, the nutrients, the vitamins, but I didn't want it to have too much sugar. See, it's thickening up nicely. She's gonna love it. I know she's been waiting every time I get up to stir it or whatever, and when I was earlier, she's up. I think she's hungry because it is about her meal time. So I said I want this to cool down enough so I can put her yogurt and coconut oil in it. Or not the whole thing. I'm gonna do that separately, but once this cools down, I'm gonna get her a nice bowl of it and put the yogurt in. Sorry, I got hiccups again. Her yogurt and coconut oil on it. So as soon as this cools down, and so I can feed her, I'll be back. Alright, I think this has cooled down enough, and Sophia can't wait any longer. She just is starving. So throw some in here. And then I got some coconut oil just opened. I don't know why I stuck it in the fridge. Okay. I'm only going to give her about a half a teaspoon. Because she's going to get... Depending on how her stomach feels, sometimes she gets fed like 4 or 5 times a day. Well, maybe not 5, but like 3 or 4. When Rocky got sick, he had to get fed like 7, 8 times a day. He used to have to wake up in the middle of the night and feed him, because he could only eat about 2 tablespoons of food at a time. So, but that's what he needed, so that's what I did. And I'm gonna give her one big old plop. See that? Of yogurt with live probiotic in it. Stir it up really good. You've been waiting for a while, haven't you? I know. The minute you smelt it. And this will do her for quite a while. But if you feed your dog anything different, always keep an eye on them. Make sure they're, you know, they don't have excess gas, or they can, or they can't go to the bathroom, or you know, just keep an eye on them. So you're gonna realize what doesn't work for them. Like we realized, we thought she had an allergy to grains and stuff. Turned out it was chicken meal. Once we quit using dog food that had chicken meal in it, she stopped having problems. And it took us years. We tried anything and everything. Yeah, we're gonna let her lick the spoon. Alright. Hold on a second. Alright. Gonna let you watch her eat it. And yeah, the floor's really dirty, it needs to be cleaned again. We won't say who, but somebody keeps dropping ice cubes and leaving them there. She is excited. Aren't you, Porter? Hey. She likes it. That's what you want to see. A happy dog. Hopefully she won't have the farts later. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, and share. That's my little girl. Alright, everybody take it easy. Remember, love your pets. And be safe. Keep them safe too. Bye-bye.